Welcome back everyone, it's Michael. On this video, I'm going to show you how to change the car color to any color you want, like yellow, pink, or red. Stay tuned. Okay, let's start. Probably the easiest way to change the car color is through the adjustment layer Hue and Saturation. You click the hand icon, you select the color of the car, which is in this one it's blue, and then I usually click this dropper with a plus sign to sample more shades of that blue. Okay, so once I selected the blue that I want, all the different shades of it, you go to this Hue slider and move it left and right, and then immediately you can see the different colors that you can change the color into. Right, so now this is good and very straightforward, but the limitation is that you don't get the exact color that you want. You're pretty much at the mercy of the color combination. For example, because this is a blue car, if you add a bit of yellow into it, you get the green, so on and so forth. But if you want, for example, a shade of yellow, as particular, let's say a lemon yellow or a mango tango color of this car, you won't be able to get that just through this slider. You can, for example, let's go to, this is probably the closest one to get a yellow, and you can adjust the lightness and the saturation, everything, but it's not going to give you that exact yellow you have in mind. Or for example, if you're editing this for professional work, if your editor gives you a color palette of yellow that they want to be used on the car, you won't be able to do that with this, but this is a good starting point. All right, so let's disable this layer for now, and we'll try to recreate this yellow color that I did. Okay, so first thing you need to do is you have to select this panels of the car which has a paint of blue. Right, so any painted part of the car, you have to select it. I usually use a pen tool, but it's up to you. You can use some other tools on selecting this. I already selected this earlier, and this is what I did. Okay, I used pen tool for this, and I created this layer mask. So we're going to be using this. Okay, so let's start by creating a folder, and then I'll add the layer mask that I did before. Okay, so while selecting this folder, I'll click Hue and Saturation. So that makes the Hue and Saturation under this layer. So that's very important. So take note of that. You have to make sure that the Hue and Saturation is inside this Group 1 folder. Okay, so click that hand icon. Add more shade of the blue. Reduce the saturation. Right, increase the lightness. And then I'll create a new adjustment layer called solid color, which is I'm going to be using white. Okay, then I'm going to change the opacity to 50%. Okay, so the numbers for opacity and all the other sliders will depend on the color of the car you're working on. So for this, because I made this already earlier, I know that the 50 opacity on the white one works really good. Right, so I'll create a solid color again, and this time I'm going to use the yellow one. So you can eyeball the yellow that you want, or for example, for me, I already know the exact ones that I want, so I'll just copy it there, click OK, and then I'm going to change this layer, the blending mode, to color. and that's it. So you get the yellow color that you want without, without playing around too much, basically. So I think I'm just gonna create, because on the white layer, if you notice that the lines of the car like this, the panel gaps are not so visible because the white created a haze, the white haze on it. So I'm gonna just change the layer style of this using the blend if layer. So to access this, you have to double click the layer around this part. Okay, not here, but around this area. So you double click that, and then on underlying layer, you see this pin. If you hold the Alt key or the Option key, you can split that. And then I'll select it around here, and that gives me a bit of more shadow there. Obviously you can still tweak this, maybe add curves or something to make this lines pop more, but this is basically how you change the color of the car with the exact color palette that you want, right? So I'm gonna show you the ones that I did earlier, which is the rose gold. So the same technique, I desaturate the color, then I add the red color using the blend mode color, and then add the white one to make it pink, right? And then I use some blending mode here. Okay, and then the same thing with the red. The red is probably the easiest one. I just created a red solid color. That's it. And then if you have if you want to tweak the red, you can do that with changing the intensity of red that you want, or changing the fill or opacity. Yeah, and then that's pretty much it. I hope you learned something from this, and you can change the color of the car to, it's not just applicable to cars, you can change pretty much any color on your photo using this technique. Okay, so that's it for today. If you find this video helpful, please subscribe and like this video. And if you want me to do some other tutorials, please let me know in the comments, and I'll see you on the next one.